I decided that I was going to give up sugar. Well, I didn't have sugar, I had honey. And I was very tired, lacked motivation. And as these awakenings always are, it was another awakening where I suddenly realised that I hadn't given up sugar. I'd bought a very large tub of forest honey and I was scooping it into my tea unconsciously. And I think this is where there's a lesson in consciousness and unconsciousness, and how sometimes when we go on to autopilot, there is something within us that overrides, and the desires, they take the levers. I can equate it to when I went to see a friend of mine in Kensington, and they had this lady in part of the exhibition they have in Kensington Park, and she was doing a tea ceremony, and we sat for over an hour in silence as she slowly did the ceremony around the tea, and then it was handed out to everybody there. There was probably about 40 of us, and it was serene, blissful. The attention focused on one person and on this teapot, and then it was handed out and it tasted lovely. And it was there as an art exhibition. And I know there's a lady on Rachel Elnill's channel on the Telegram, and she's very much into water, so I'm sure she may find this of great interest. I can only imagine that the intention of everybody watching this lovely lady in this incredible building with remarkable acoustics right next to Kensington Palace for over an hour, our focus on that teapot and what she was doing was then poured out and shared amongst all of us, and it was a really divine experience. So where I'm going with this is the consciousness that she was using towards consuming something is rather hard to maintain considering all of the distractions. And much of my life has been about trying to bring all of my alters and parts, because I'm disassociative, to look down one lens. Down, it's almost like the old revolver guns with bullets in every hole. It's almost trying to go from the revolver with the barrel to just having one shot. And I believe that I'm not alone in this. I believe all of us now are in this situation because we've had to compartmentalise and put on different acts and faces for different scenarios. So in terms of the tea and going back to my honey, it was when I was unconscious that I was just spooning it in, and then I realised, gosh, I was tired because actually the old sugar monster within, the parasites, and this will bring me on to when I do my research, because when I was in Australia, some of the deadliest, most poisonous snakes like to be in the sugarcane. And I do love to veer into the biblical, but it's almost like the serpent and the sweetness that seems to have governed and taken over the way that we live our lives, and is the main blood source of addictions. Cocaine, sugarcane, all grasses, all of the family grass. And I'll go more into this in my film that I'm making about, we're all trying to find green pastures, the land of milk and honey, and those grasses and the blades that can be so sharp. It's as though some have been domesticated and produced and then filtered into our system, which has almost hooked us and is used against us, with people being kidnapped. In the old days, they used to call it blackbirding, where they would grab indigenous persons to put them on plantations. All of this by the cane, by the sugar cane. So I've stopped with the honey. And already I feel productive and my confidence, and I'm steady and I'm not argumentative like I used to be. Because there was a fire, and I think this is another thing with the grass. It absorbs the sun. And the land of milk and honey. Maybe one day we used to have an appendix, and maybe somehow we became engineered when we lost our appendix. Maybe that's when we were domesticated and eating certain things that it just perished. But we lost our independence when we lost our own appendix. And now we are in silos and suburbs. But it was that small, tiny pouch where we could make our own milk. But now we are dependent on the four stomachs of the sacred cow, or we used to be, in order for our milk and honey. And I will go more into this film when I make it. It was known as the reed of honey without the bees, is what the the Persians used to say about the sugarcane. But like I say, poisonous snakes in fibrous grasses from hot temperaments, and they are grown in hot temperaments. It's where the sun is captured. And grass has solar potentials, and I will get onto that again about how technology depends upon sugar cane, amongst other things. So we are wrapped in a very sweet wrapper, from consuming to operations to migration and our routes and journeys. That was a cup of tea. So I hope that you have put the kettle on. We'll go and put the kettle on. And I'll try and do more improvised videos. And to let you know, it may take a while, but I'm working on a production, a small documentary that is going to be talking about sugarcane, Silicon Valley, and how all these things come together that have captured us. More to come on that. But for now, lovely cuppa. If you subscribe and I have more subscribers, I will be more motivated to make more of these features. Enjoy your tea and God bless.